Hello and welcome back to Michelle Holden Art Beyond Mixed Media. And yes, I can't believe when I was looking back through my journals, not that I was stuck or needed inspiration, I came across this beautiful blue page, and that's what's inspired this week's video. Well, hello and welcome to this week's video. I thought I would have a little chat, let you know what it's about. And this little piece of collage started it all. Last week, you might have seen me, the video where I used a collection of blue, orange, teal, and while that's ongoing, I saw a piece, I had this piece of collage that was sitting on the table, and it looked so good with all the other pieces, but I realized I didn't have any more. So I went and made some. So in today's video, I'm going to show you, there's two parts. One part is the collage experimenting and then making, and it ended up that this was a direct painting on the paper. And this paper is different than my usual paper. It is parchment tracing paper from Canson, and I'll show you that. And I am still exploring blues, and I found my favorite combination so far is Payne's Gray and Celluloid. And putting those together in different ratios makes the most beautiful blue. I would have to say, though, more Payne's Gray than the Cerulean. So this week, I created this piece. And there's the piece of collage. And I started it off with a great big blue shape, similar to that other video, which I believe the card in this one. And it wasn't as easily created as last week's, which was this one. I still really, really love this one. So this art journal is almost filled up, and I want to continue it and finish it with exploring the orange and blue and the new blue collage. Don't forget to give my 5-day free course a try. And it is really good for setting you up with I call it an intuitive art journaling practice using my mixed media layering process, where you use mixed media layers and your intuition, and you just let things happen. And it's a very gentle approach. It frees you up, gets you unstuck. And speaking of unstuck, today I did get stuck. I use the prompts, so if you haven't got yours, you can download them, and they also come with the course. So today in the video, I used only 3 or 4 of them, and then I got right back into my flow again. So I hope you enjoy today's video and stay to the end to see all the different layers that I create. So let's get started. And so as you can see, I'm using my 5x7 7x10, watercolor Canson. And I've put that page that inspired this week's video up on the ledge in front of me on the right. You can't say it. And if you didn't know already, I am preparing for a live stream video series called Create With Me. And our first session is Trust Your First Mark. Just like that page, that one piece of collage started everything, your first mark can also do the same. And that's why I felt like putting it on the page. I wanted it to be my inspiration, my thought of this session. So I'm just going to come on in and talk when necessary. Otherwise, you can just watch what I'm doing. These are the Caran d'Ache water-soluble crayons. And then I've come in with similar colors to that page. Now, if I wanted to get closer, I would go back to those prompts and use the same sequence. Of course, it's not going to turn out the same, but it would be similar, more similar if I really wanted it to. But that's not the point. I wanted the similar feeling, not the similar page. So trying to replicate a page in this intuitive process is very, very, isn't the point, and is very highly unlikely because you're doing too much thinking. This is a non-thinking. This is a feeling. That's what intuition is. And so then I felt my focus going off in replicating that page instead of being present with what was in front of me. I had an art friend, mentor, who always used to say, be where your hands are. And that is so true and very helpful. So then I'm scoring through and just repeating the word trust. And that's a big part of this process, trust. And I think this video is very serendipitous, which most of what I do is, which I cannot believe half the time, because that's how I go. I intuitively plan. My whole thing is listening to that inner voice, my authentic self, trying to become the best me I can in this particular time, and also my artistry the same. So I grabbed similar collage pieces there on the left, and I know I love these old pages. They tear just like butter. It's I don't know if that's a proper comparison, but whatever. And it follows the direction of your tear very easily, which I really love. And most of the pieces on this page were very long and rectilinear, where they were a little more square. But what I wanted to make sure is that I had at least a piece with hole punches in it, which you'll see, so stay to the end of the video, to have that same element. So I'm putting in similar elements, but in a different way, but to grasp the same feel. And I'm just sort of using a combination of the heavy gel gloss medium and the fluid from Liquitex. Sometimes this is a very thin piece, so it didn't need water on it. Sometimes I spray the thicker pieces with a little spritz of water. It just softens up the fibers, and it adheres to the underlayer better without bubbling. And notice the difference as soon as I put that contrasting color in, which is a yellow ochre oxide, lightened up a bit. You could also, it's very similar to Naples yellow as well. And this time I didn't use cerulean blue or Payne's gray. Now that I watch the video again, duh, now I know, and I will be experimenting with those. This is, I have trouble pronouncing that blue, so I'll just put it in the description. With black, which is very similar to Payne's Gray, ultramarine and black. But I use light blue and the teal or the turquoise rather than the cerulean. But of course I have my white and my neutral titanium. And all the colors will be in the video description. There I am, hole punching that collage. And I didn't even worry about the same kind of collage to hole punch. I just wanted that element, positive and negative space. And I always keep your punch outs, because I do use one in the end, and I really, it's very cool. It's really my style that I'm finding turns up every time, or almost every time. So on the other piece, it was on the right, but it doesn't work for this one. And I discovered I like the other side better. So I know with this process, we are not doing thinking, but in order to share what I'm feeling or doing, that's why a voiceover is very important. When I was teaching, we called them think alouds, so that you had a visual and you also explained and shared the thinking, the process with, whoever you're teaching, with my students. And I was going to go vertical, but as you can see, it doesn't work. And then horizontal. And this is just deli paper with any kind of stencil you like, even drawn. We're going to be starting with marks in my Create With Me series. So if you haven't signed up, please do so. And I should probably do a blurb at the beginning of this video, but I've been putting out, I think, enough reminders out there. And we're just going to focus on marks. We're not moving into stencils yet. We're keeping it very simple. I find the simpler your art tools are, the less distracted we are, and you can explore more deeply. That is still deli paper with some white, whatever objects you find around your house at the dollar store that are very interesting. I think that's an old tape roll or something that I put in the white and repeated the shape by stamping. So right here I'm deciding, gee, do I like it without the yellow? But the orange really punches up. The contrasting color really works. So I stuck with that. So I'm just flattening out. And I don't really worry about bubbles with these journaling pages. You just want to put down things, respond, no thinking, or at least the least amount of thinking possible. And then this shape turned up. I love it because I do a lot of things across like this. Sometimes I'll just do a wispy stroke, a bold brush stroke. Shapes going inside shapes. And now there's overlapping, so that makes it a lot more interesting. So now I'm thinking about, it could use a little weight down at the bottom, but the blue needs a little more black. Much better. So there's that. Payne's gray could work. So I'm just moving into the other area a bit. Lightening up a bit with some scoring. And taking that area right to the edge. So, do you have work lying around, or work that you really love? And does it inspire you? Could you use that for your next page or your next series? Let me know in the comments below. That sort of worked, but it was too dark. See how I wanted to keep it very light. I don't even know if I ended up using anything up there. It almost is finished. Whoa. I used that piece, but not on this one. Oh yes, this is gold tissue paper. Yes, notice I move my hand around, seeing where it fits, and it usually fits where there's a similar value, color, and I always love the torn edge. Not always, but in most cases. Digging around for more, but I don't know if it needs any more. Sometimes a collage will also inspire a layer of paint. Notice the lighter value works. Okay, so collage was too opaque. So I realized I needed to do something different. So I grabbed my color shaper, combined the white and then now notice if it's a very sharp angle, it's very opaque. And now I'm moving that paint in across, which pushes that orange shape back a little bit. And integrates the collage more. And it creates sort of a lighter energy. So you have much lighter on the top, heavier on the bottom, which then promotes this going heavy to light. So I'm pausing, waiting for that feeling, my intuition, and then scoring through it. Sometimes it dries quickly, but that's okay. And the brayer is a great lifter, even if it's just subtle. Oh yes, the last piece of orange. So it's going somewhere here, which helps bring the eye down, but it was a little thick. So I thought, well, okay, so let's narrow it a little bit and then try it. Yeah. So ratio again. So this page is mostly blue with some, let's say, orange and a little bit of black. Just needed something up there, but nothing heavy at all, just some line, and that really helps. And I don't go over, I could also add that as a glaze, go in with some water and it would fill in some of the texture. So the page that I'm inspired by had my cardboard stencil mark on it, and I'm making sure it's light enough. I just want it to be very subtle. And this would be a visual texture, not physical, but if you used a lot of paint, it could be both. So I'm rubbing it, making sure, and notice how subtle that is, and look how it pushes those circles back one more layer. So it really added to the layers. And then I get this last minute thing, which I believe they get erased because now I've got too many circles going on. Sometimes this happens, you just need to try it. Nothing is ever fixed in stone during this process because you can always go back and change it. So now I realize, so I'm adjusting the contrast, the value, by darkening the value. It's improving, but now I feel it's too busy. And I did do the right thing, so stay to the end. Yeah. Oh, so we are coming towards the end. When I start doing this, and the page had that as well, just a very light sprinkle. So now I'm drawing, holding on to the collage so it doesn't blow all over the table. Oh, and realize that I wanted to save one of my punched out circle shapes, but before, so just taking that away, adding the black because I wanted to match, then I'll score through that a bit. Maybe, yes I do. So it's similar, beautiful. So much better, not there. And then of course, oh yeah, one more thing, one more item. So when I put this circle down, very small, I'm trying to choose one that has a lot of blue in it, similar colors and value. And if it's too strong, all I have to do is add a light layer over it, which pushes it back just enough. And that's what I'm doing. So now you see it's blue. It's too blue, but I can rub that. I wanted it to be the similar color as what's there. But let's see if I lift it a bit or score through it. Ah, yes. Much better. Okay. So we're coming to the end. And now I'm thinking, oh, it needs to dry before I use my gold pen. So I love the lines that my gold pen just glides, and I'm still thinking of the word trust. I like to use all uppercase. I know sometimes I don't like the font, but it's me, so, and that's it. So here it is. I love the feeling. Still had that great feeling. Here is the page and the sequence of prompts if you're interested in trying that. And then I decided to put a little black behind the word trust so it would show up. So don't forget to like, subscribe, try my course out to get you started. And I will see you in the next video.